I'm conscious.
Now what?
What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Yeah. Hold it. What you talking about, doctor?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are live on I'm Conscious. Now what? Finally, the blockage, our live streams have been reinstated. It's been 90 days since I've been able to go live on this channel. We weathered the storm, and I just could not think of a more beautiful way of bringing this information to you, ladies and gentlemen, that we will be broadcasting live again, so we can kind of redirect some of the turbulence and hoops and hurdles that we've been jumping through. You know, me going live on Derek Dunlap's channel and then uploading the I'm Conscious. Now, well, actually, I got 3 channels. I got a positive mark, and I just found out I got a positive marketer channel that has thousands and thousands and thousands of views from a manifestation, money manifestation mantra that I put up like a year ago, you know, when I was into manifesting money, and it's been helping and blessing so many people. I just got tons of inbox from a Facebook page called The Positive Marketer that I'm not even active on, and it was just loaded with inboxes of people saying, hey dude, I've been using your mantras, and you know the money's coming in. So that snaps to that. Cadoodles. So as you know, a lot of you don't know, this is my wife. Marie Sunny is what they call her. They call her Marie Sunny because her spirit is just so bright. So I'm sharing this space with her today because every morning we always sit at the table, either doing breakfast or after breakfast, and we have, would you call them debates or discussions?
It depends. Depends on the way we're feeling.
It depends on the way we feel it. Right. So just, you know, I just wanted to do a live stream to continue. I mean, this debate got like not heated, but it was just so much energy in this particular debate. I say, honey, we should take this live stream, and this way we can pop your cherry and get you on the live stream. People can feel your energy, and you know, we can continue this debate. So spiritually, what I came up with is the systematic trap we must all escape to become a more higher productive society in whole. Okay, and this conversation sparked from me and my wife. We've opened our house before, but we're about to open our house back up for a live-in consultation. All right, I won't say any names to respect those privacies, and we were just sitting at the table getting ready for the energy that's going to enter our home. Okay, so many times people focus on the physical aspects of what's going down, but it's actually the energy that you're allowing to come into your home, which is going to offset the energy that is already in our home, because we got perfect harmony in our home. We know the vibration of our home based on our animals, based on everything in our home. We're used to the energy in our home. This home is my safe haven. This is where I can go center, I mean, with the snap of a finger, because I know the frequency of this home. We cleared out a lot of the, what would you call? I still deal with her father sometimes, who passed away in spirit. His name is Sonny. Yeah. Sonny protects her. Right. That's why Sonny Marie. I deal with her dad a lot spiritually because he protects her, and a lot of times he opens doors and trips me up and turns on.
If he says anything that he feel like he shouldn't say, literally immediately he'll bump his head, and then he'll say, "Okay, Sonny, I got it."
It's like a little something that I started, and we manifested together, so her father can come through and be with us at times. But whenever I'm going against her, here comes Sonny with his bullshit and shenanigans and things. So anyway, here's the topic, okay? And this got real deep because the live-in that's coming to stay with us, and we're gonna do our due diligence based on the tools that we have developed spiritually as a couple, a spiritual couple. And we've been through so much as a couple, you guys, and it ain't none of y'all M and F and business physically what we've been through, but we've been through a lot to get to where we are today. And we just feel that why hoard all of this powerful positive energy that we have and share this energy and our insight to individuals who just need not so much spiritual direction, but to be reminded who and what they are spiritually, to awake people. You know, our intent is to raise the intent and the level of consciousness one soul at a time. So we just do our part. So what happened was this particular individual is a female. Okay. See my wife smiling, right? And so we were talking and we always express our concerns. And I was just telling my wife, oh man, honey, I just cleansed myself. I just came into contact with this beautiful earth stone. I know a lot of you, if you saw my last live stream, I just got accustomed to this new stone that's came into my presence that I have stewardship over, that has just gave me so much clarity and just cleansed me cosmically of a lot of things that I've been holding on to. And it's just magnifying my thoughts, my wills, and my desires. You got a chance to hold that stone. Yes. And what did that stone do for you?
It shook me up a little bit. You know, I had starting with the tingling in my feet. And it just the warmth that started from the bottom all the way up through my body. So I did have I won't say positive or negative. It was just an experience with it. And I think it has enlightened me a little bit just for these few days, and I like it. And let me just say this before, Derek finished. Like, I love and respect what he does so much. He's a very open person, and I love him for that. I love him for who he is and for what he's doing. And we have a common bond of a relationship that, like he said, we've been through so much. And I think that's why we love and trust one another so much. And that's why we can be on different levels, because I'm not on the same level with him, with his consciousness. I'm getting there. And in some ways, I'm still more of a physical person to help people in that sense. Is he's more of a mental person. So I think he's my yin to my yang and vice versa. So I appreciate him for it.
Okay. And that's good to know, especially when you're dealing with couples. I allow my wife to vibrate on the frequency that she's on. And I knew in my journey that the first thing that I had to accomplish, and I'm still trying to accomplish this now, is to be transparent to all frequencies, meaning I can come down to her level and sit in her energy field with her. Now, I might not vibrate like how I would love to vibrate. You understand what I'm saying? But I can come down to her frequency, meaning I can humble myself and come down to exactly where she is and sit in that frequency and, have intimate conversations and just feel where she is. And that's why it works for us, because we're not a quote unquote perfect couple, but she allows me to be me. You see what I'm saying? And I'll allow her to be who she is. And we have no secrets. None. I mean, she knows everything. I know some of you, if you went to positivemarketer.com, she knows that my first sexual experience was with a man. Yes. You see what I'm saying? So she knows everything. She knows my highs, my lows, everything. There's no secrets. And this is how you know when you're with your soulmate. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times we get into relationships, we're not who we are. You see what I'm saying? We're portraying a character, and our partners don't know everything about us, so they don't really know what they're dealing with. She knows what she's dealing with me from a physical aspect of me and a spiritual aspect of me. And she understands that we create different timelines that we reside on simultaneously. She understands that I could be on one timeline one day. Let me give you an example, right? I could be on a timeline that is very what's one of my timelines? You can throw one out. You in the house with me. Unbiased, just throw a timeline out there that I'll go on.
He can go on this quiet timeline where he won't say or do anything and just be with himself, and I give him his space. And so I just, from a mental standpoint, I know where he's at, and then he'll come back. So he can go on this timeline where nothing is said, nothing is done, and he'll come back.
That's now, see, she's being modest. Or I can go on the timeline where, hey, baby, what's up with a piece of pussy? I can get on one of them timelines, you see. Yeah. And if you don't know that that's a timeline that you once exist on and they never go away, sometimes you feel kind of bad. Oh, shoot, I'm back in this. How did I get back there? Mm-hmm. Because you have to understand that you're creating timelines that you reside on simultaneously, all at the same time, whether they're high vibrating timelines or what you perceive as low vibrating timelines. There's timelines when I was a little child, I was 5 years old and I was molested. Mm-hmm. That's a timeline. Yeah, that's right. It never goes away because I can pull it back up. What? In mentalism, in my mind, I can go right back to that timeline, which puts me in different frequencies, which can be the outcome of how I'm manifesting energy now. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's why we work, because the secret to our marriage, if there is a secret, we just allow each other to be who we are. That's it. I know who she is. She knows who I am, and it works energetically. You see what I'm saying? And that's what's so important. It might not look good all the time physically, but energetically, it works. I can sit in her energy field. We can talk for hours. We don't need an internet connection. We don't need to be entertained. We can just talk. We ain't got to hump each other and then look at it. I can't believe I'm with you after the orgasm. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. She's my best friend. Mm-hmm. I could tell her anything. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And this is how you know when you have your soulmate. She's my best friend in the world. And it's not about me. Sure, I'm still attracted to women. If I go out and see pretty attractive women like that, she understands it. My wife would be like, man, she got a fat ass, don't she? And I'll be, where? I missed it. Where? Right there. You see what I'm saying? Because she's my best friend, so we can have fun. You know what I'm saying? We was talking today, and we was talking about this living, and we're gonna get on topic because y'all know me. We was talking about this female being a live-in, and my wife has some prior responsibilities that she has to do outside of the home. Mm-hmm. So when this live-in comes in, primarily I'll be spending the most time with her. And I kind of had my own selfish reasons, self-centered reasons of why I didn't want her to come at a specific time. Now I'm gonna put mine in. That's Eli outside barking. He's just
Eli.
That's the American bulldog with the big head who think she's his wife.
The biggest one, and he cries the most. He don't like the winter. He don't like the weather. That's all. He just don't like the
And it's 40 degrees today, and I put him out with his favorite bitch. Her name is Bella. Mm-hmm. So he got his favorite bitch in the yard with him. I mean, he still ain't happy. No. He's been by himself for a year because sometimes he gets real aggressive and he fights the bitches and the other males in the yard. So he just got implemented back with his alpha bitch, Bella, and he's still out there barking with her out there. But anyway, I'm going to ignore him. So this live-in was coming, and I was telling my wife, I just got my energy aligned. I just got this stone, and I'm just feeling so good and blissful, and I don't want her to come in right now because, and I start bringing up all of these different reasons of why I didn't want it to happen. But the main reason why I didn't want it to happen is because I didn't want to have to realign my energy or go down or come up. I'm comfortable vibration-wise of where I am now. And that's okay. But at the same time, what my wife was trying to say earlier, my wife manifested this home that we have here. And that's why we have so many birds and cats and beasts and people that come in. And the home is called
Ruby's Rescue.
Ruby's Rescue.
He named it, but
Ruby's Rescue.
And let me just say this, when he just said he just got on a higher level of his consciousness, I believe that he's on that higher level of consciousness because he's going to have to help her get her stuff together in a more conscious, spiritual place. Again, I'm more physical. I'm the mothery type. But I think he's going to have to help her in a more mental sense.
See how this shit is on me? He's, and we're going to get on our topic of what because see this, we're going to have some, we don't call them turbulence, but we can laugh after our debates. Okay. Absolutely. So to my defense, with this being a female, right, I started to play with the energy a little bit. Like, well, honey, you're bringing another female into the house with your husband. What did your mom think about it? Okay. And her mom is more old school. You don't bring no woman home with your husband, girl. You know, and so I started to play with that a little bit to try to, because, you know, it was just wasn't the right time for me. But what really is the right time?
To bring somebody in your space.
What's the right time? Okay. And I'm not going to go too much into the female that's coming in, but she has some issues, you know. She got some issues.
She does. And it's no secret. She knows it, but that's why we're here to help her.
We're right.
We're in this together. Didn't he say that earlier? We're
okay.
Team.
So we're
in this together. Takes two.
All right, it does. So our discussion earlier, we were talking about polygamy. Am I saying polygamy?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. We were talking about polygamy because of this, you know, this woman that's not that I want to marry this woman. And some of you guys got some that's not like that. But that's what sparked the conversation of polygamy. Okay. And I was just telling them, my wife is totally against polygamy.
Totally.
For her own reasons. So we're gonna dig into I can't say that word, polygamy a little more. I think if we were not brought up in the society that we are now, which is dominated by the fiat currency, okay? It's all based on fiat currencies, which has destroyed the society that we live in right now. Because once upon a time, when this fiat currency wasn't in circulation, you had what's called, go way back. You got to go way back in nature to understand what I'm saying. Okay, some of you are young children, especially on I'm Conscious. Now, we got a younger audience, but before all of this artificial intelligence, before all of this gas and heat and electricity and all of this, you had what was called tribes, right? Huge tribes. You can go all the way back. You got to go all the way back. And I know that's not the time that we're in now, but just based on my opinion, I said, I think we will be a much stronger, conscious, more powerful society right now if polygamy was still in effect, meaning a spiritual conscious man, right, could take on multiple wives. And polygamy is still going on in certain parts of the world to this day. My wife was like, bullshit. And she said it because she was looking like my wife, for example, and this carnation, you probably have about 30 kids in another carnation because she likes children, but she thinks it's a bad time now where we are to bring children into the times that we're in right now. And I understand that. So she likes to pick up kids. She plays with kids, but she was like, in this incarnation, and it was her choice. She was like, I'm not bringing any children into the world the way it is right now. My wife's gifts is her vibration of love. She is the most, and I'm not just saying this, she is the most unselfish person I have ever encountered consciously in this incarnation and other carnations that I'm chipping at right now. That's why we got all these goddamn animals. It's not because of me. I'm just keeping it real. It's not because of me. It's because she doesn't defy consciousness as humanity. It's all existence. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. She found this little And you see it now. It's very vibrant. She was somewhere and you found this, and when she brought this little plant home, it looked like it had the dreadlocks, that everything, all of the leaves were hanging down.
Mm-hmm.
And she nurtured this plant back up to being healthy. She'll see a stray cat out on the street, and it's just her energy. You have to see it to believe it. I mean, it could be a vicious pit bull. It happened. A pit bull was, and I told some of you guys about this when we was driving in the car. This is just how she is, right? And we saw a pit bull. It was hungry. You could see all his skin, and it was a pit bull, right? And it was not, it didn't look friendly at the time. My wife said, pull over. She got out of the car, didn't know the dog. It's something about her energy, and animals are so keen to energy. She got out the car, kneeled humbly, and I don't know, she did some kind of move humbly, and the animals just come up to her. And now this fucking pit bull lives on my porch, has a dog house, and we feeding this pit bull. So her gifts is the vibration of love that comes out of her. She don't care if you're old, fat, skinny, white, black, animal, human. It's the same vibration of love. Would you agree on that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I've always been told that by my family members, my close family members, like the derelicts come to me. That's who I attract. Like, I'll talk to you if you in a wheelchair, if you can barely speak. I just love all. Doesn't matter what you are. If you are living, which is from a plant to a human being, I just love all
consciousness,
all love.
She's not a favorite of man.
Mm-mm.
She's not, man gets no, a dog, a bird, a worm, a spider. Tell them about the moth that lived with us for about a year.
Abraham. He named him. It was Abraham. A whole year, from summer all the way through the winter, and then finally through the summer, Abraham left. We had a moth living in the house, just living here. And it was just wonderful, because if we didn't see Abraham for a while, we'll say, where's Abraham? And then he'll appear. He lived with us for a whole year, a moth. I don't kill spiders. Like, if I'm at work, and some of the women at work are afraid of the spiders, I'll pick the spider up and put them on the staircasing so they won't come back in. I just have a sense of gratitude for everything that, I couldn't kill a fly that lands on me. I gotta shoo him off. That's just how I am.
That's just her frequency.
Yeah.
And I just give them a little history. Then we're gonna dive into this polygamy too, the debate. All right. My wife actually drove 40 miles when we first met. We actually met over the internet.
Yes.
And I was just in a real bad space. And she drove, I think, 40 or 50 miles to come pick me up. And she brought me back to the frequency which I reside in this dwelling now. This woman was the first woman to invest in one of my first projects that made me millions of dollars on the internet. She actually gave me my first, what was it? $100 to start a business. See, a lot of this stuff you guys don't know. When we
were just friends at the time. Like, we weren't dating. We weren't doing none of this.
No
sex.
When
I went and picked him up, he wasn't feeling very well, and I brought him back. And I said, "Ma casa, su casa." That's and because I saw the potential in him, and that's just, again, Ruby's Rescue House. And I knew what he can be.
She saw something in me that at the time I was just a mess. I was drinking, I was sleeping on the air mattress, I was in another city, and I was just in a bad space. And she saw something in me that at the time, you know what I'm saying? And all I did was, for like the first 90 days or so, I was just rehabilitating.
Yeah.
She gave me a room in the basement that I stayed in. She stayed upstairs. The pool nanny was off limits. I couldn't get, there was no kind of intimacy until I think we kind of bonded, and when I started knowing who I was, and it's, to make a long story short, we were best friends. And I know that's why our marriage, wow, I'm getting choked up a little bit. I think that's why our marriage is so strong now because we got to know each other for who we were spiritually and physically before. We didn't get married for the financial, you know. I just knew that being in 3 density, why not marry her? You understand what I'm saying? I asked her, like, you know, because we were best friends. I'm like, why? We might as well get married.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We got this bond, and you don't want no children, and we spiritually connected. I think you my soulmate. I can't see myself living without you now on this journey. When I look back at the journey and look what she did for me spiritually to help me develop and bloom into this flower that's blooming that you guys see now. She was a big part of that. She was actually one of the first women in a long time that I allowed to love me. You understand? And I'm not talking about anything sexual, see? Because you remember, I was wounded. I was wounded because I always thought love was sexual, you know? That's just, I mean, from the things I experienced as a child. And I didn't have the best of relationships with my mom because my mom had to work a lot. My mom got her doctor's degree, master's degree. And you guys know the story. My dad was an alcoholic. He wasn't in the household when I was young. So, you know, I was victimized by molestation, you know, and there's so many stories out there. You can go to positivemarketer.com to hear that whole story. So anyway, I just wanted to catch you up with, this is your first time seeing my wife. You know, she's been here the whole time, but I say, honey, jump on the camera. We can go live on Unconscious now. What now?
And I'm not a camera person. I'm like, oh,
she behind the scenes.
I'm a behind the scenes person. But, you know, he made a valid point, and I'm glad to, you know, go into his world and meet his community. So I agreed to do this. Y'all won't see me a lot, but I agreed to do this.
She runs the household behind the scenes.
Yes.
She buys all of the clothes, all of the food. She runs the household spiritually. I'm connected spiritually. You see, that's why it works. Physically, 3 density, she runs the household. My little money come in, she take the whole check. Give me what, a couple dollars? What I got, $5?
About it. That's about it. That's all he needs.
That's all I need. Okay, so let's jump into our topic real fast. We were talking about polygamy, okay? And I want to take you back. When I look at the way the world is now, I have total understanding and consciousness of how we got to the point of where we are now consciously. Okay. 3 density is a mirror, I say, of the imagination and of the spiritual realm, the astral realm. And I watch, and I'll just say the powers that be, because I just got my damn channel back today or yesterday. So I ain't going to get real technical with the 13 families and all of that. But the powers has systematically separated us from unity consciousness. Okay. Unity consciousness means if I can put my head with this woman's head right here, and we can agree and both visualize, right? One thing with all of our will and desire. And on top of that, with us being a power couple, we can also use our sexual energy now to help us manifest whatever it is that we desire. Okay, but that's unity consciousness. But we all have a soul group that we incarnated into this dimension with, you see, that's been separated. You see what I'm saying? Now we're individuals. She's a female, I'm a male. And this is something that I was talking to my wife about. Instinctual, certain animals, there are a few animals that have one wife, one soulmate for their entire incarnation. I think it's a bird. I think it's the penguin. Don't correct me. A lot of you know it's certain animals, but for the majority, okay, the animals, they still have their natural instinct to nature. And, you know, the lion has all of the female lions, and the wolves have all of the female wolves, and dogs. We as men take on that nature of the dog, because we always smelling up on some woman's panties, but that dog can mate with, you know, all of the different animals, even the cats, even certain birds, right? Even certain insects, and it goes on and on and on and on. So I was sitting at the table and I said, I think it would be better, right, if a man was allowed, now hear me out, ladies and gentlemen, if the man was spiritually connected. And I know in 2017, there's not a lot of quote unquote, spiritually connected men. What do I mean by that? I'm talking about a man that does not live and operate out of the root chakra. Okay, that's the survival mode chakra. This man's consciousness has to in order for this to work. This is why a lot of cases of polygamy does not work now. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because too many of us, of men and women, we live out of our root chakra, which grounds us to 3 density. Right above the root chakra is the sacral chakra, which is the sexual chakra. Everything on TV and the internet and the radio and the music is all sexual. So that cannot be like your dominating objective or motive. It can't be survival mode in sex.
Right.
Okay, it can't. Polygamy won't work. Why? Because you're going to have multiple divine feminine energies in the same space who are all operating out of wherever this spiritual man is, the head vibration, right? It takes 2 to spark that divine feminine energy and that masculine energy. And you guys see it on television right now. It's hard to get 3 women in the room to agree as friends. Now,
so true.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to push polygamy now. I don't want 10 wives now. I'm not ready for 10 wives. Financially, I'm not now, because right now my will and desire is not for fiat currency. I'm not chasing money anymore. Have you seen a big change in me as far as the money part?
Oh, absolutely. He when we first met and when we first got together, his big driving force was money. And it wasn't, believe me, he made a lot. That was the big driving force, but all else was lacking. And
everything else.
And so now that he still brings in the money, don't get it.
But it's nothing like it was. I mean, I made millions on the internet, and it's hard for people. When I say I made $1 million on the internet, just think, if you worked at Ford Motor Company and you made $100,000 a year, in 10 years, you'll make it's a lot of people that have made millions of dollars in their lifetime. They just can't account for the money because of taxes and the way they spend. So in a short period of time, over about 8 years, I made millions of dollars on the internet from affiliate marketing. I create my own products. I've always had this mind in my imagination where I can create things from my mind. I've always had the ability to do that. I can still do that now. I choose not to do that now because I realize that money is energy, and the money when I say money, is fiat currency, it's numbers. The artificial realm that we live in right now, which some people call the matrix, is conscribed and put together by numbers. It's the matrix. Fiat currency is numbers. Your money right now that you see is on the screen or it's on the card. It's fiat money. It's not real. It grounds you and keeps you trapped in the matrix. And this is something that each individual is going to have to figure out on your journey. If you're still in that root chakra, you're still in survival mode as, oh, I gotta eat. Oh, I gotta have this. I got all of that you can create out of your imagination when you get centered and imagine what you want in this life. And you'll find your balance. You'll find where you vibrate in your most creative at a certain vibration. You'll know why you're here. A lot of you are here to manifest and become millionaires and to develop new technology, which a lot of you, but where I am now and where this woman is now, we don't sit up and meditate. Oh, we need more money. We don't do that. We don't do that anymore. It's one particular time I did, but not now. I don't desire to have a $20 million mansion and big chains and a bunch of bitches, and I don't.
And let me just say this. I think one of the reasons why he went there more comfortable, because I am not the type of woman that needs a man with a whole lot of money. I'm a very simple woman that appreciates him for who he was. And
I ain't had shit in the beginning, so that tell you what type of woman she was.
It didn't matter to me about his money, and I showed him through who I was, and not what I said. I think action speaks definitely more louder than words. Money didn't matter to me because I've never worried about money. I've never concerned myself with money. It always came, and being who you are, you attract that, and you'll get what you need and actually desire in life.
So let me get back on my train of thought. A lot of you are here to manifest and to, it's your will and desire to have large amounts of money. And that's okay. If you can hold that frequency and you feel centered and you feel blissful, let me just, this popped up on the screen real fast. Let me just downsize that. 1 minute.
Exit all the way over there.
I can't exit it. Okay. Sorry, we had a pop-up. I was doing some spyware. But, I'm not the type of person to say all money is bad. I'm just telling you where I am. You know what I'm saying? It's always the intent behind desiring. What is your intent to have a lot of money? Is it to covet the money? Is it to help? Is it to feed the homeless? Is it to just, you look on the internet right now. I'm going to give you an example of some of the men and why polygamy wouldn't work. But if polygamy was insert now into our society and you had men, multiple men, don't matter the color. See, we have to rise up out of color too. That's another polarity, black, white. See, that holds us back. That keeps us broke, individualized and not unity consciousness, because we all separated in different categories. And that's why we can't come together collectively to raise the level of consciousness on Mother Earth to get out of this artificial creative realm that the archons and other high entities I talked about on another video have created for us. This reality that we reside in, that has dominion over us, we add to it from our thoughts, right? We add to this reality, but the constructs of this reality that we live in is already the foundation, the grid has already been laid to keep us vibrating, the majority of us on a whole, at a certain vibration level in fear, okay? So they can feed off of our energy. And it's all controlled by the fiat artificial currency, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I tell people now, it's hard for you to understand when I say, don't chase the money now. Don't chase the money. And I know it's hard for some. What do you mean? I got to keep the lights on. If you only knew the power that you have, and this woman right here can tell you some of the manifestations. I'm learning not to speak about a lot of my manifestations over this artificial intelligence because I get attacked. You see what I'm saying? This is the all-seeing eye right now. This connection that we have, right? This is a artificial consciousness. And a lot of times we curse ourselves from talking too much over this artificial intelligence. I see it all the time. We curse ourselves and more than we bless ourselves on this internet. And I'm learning. I know I was more gun-ho when I first got online, but I had to learn. I got burned. I had to fight off different entities. I had a one-on-one altercation with a reptilian. I'm learning. And I'm learning how important this woman is in this incarnation, being connected to me as in my soul group. I found one individual that's in my soul group that can connect with me. It don't matter how I'm manifesting in the physical. She knows my soul. She's connected to me. And so that's why I was able to say, I'm not chasing money anymore. All right. Now, you'll know when you're with your soulmate is, number one, you could just be yourself. Okay. If you're quote unquote, whatever label somebody throws on you, you can carry that label and your soulmate is going to still be there for you. He or her or whatever, they won't care. I'm not saying there won't be any friction, but you'll be able to be yourself. Okay. What's happening in 2017 as all of these different frequencies with this goddamn internet? See, this internet carries viruses, different frequencies that jump on people, as people are fictitious characters online. They're not who they portray that they are online. You could be anybody you want to be online. You see what I'm saying? You got so many fictitious characters putting out this artificial energy that people are grabbing hold of, right? Hoping that they can be like these characters or role models. Anybody can jump on the internet and say whatever they want to say now. You see what I'm saying? And this is why the world is so just out of sync right now, because our babies are watching this internet. And this is why consciousness, it'll rise and then it'll become stagnant. Why? You heard me say it before. We got conscious starter kits. You cling to these personalities. You cling to these gurus, and it's whatever this guru say, this is the way. And whatever this book say, this is the way. I learned this week that whoever wins the war or the battle that's being fought on the land writes the history, rewrites the history. You see what I'm saying? So the books that we have in 2017 right now, the 13 families wrote that history. A lot of us don't, just because I'm black don't mean I'm African. You see what I'm saying? I could have some reptilian blood in me. Who knows what my DNA is now in 2017? But if I play that polarity game, I want to get everybody that's black on my team and get everybody that's white on one team. And the color don't mean anything in the skin color right now. It's what's inside of your spirit. What spirit are you? What's in your DNA? And all of our DNA in 2017, you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, it's been altered. You see what I'm saying? It's been altered. That's why we don't remember shit. That's why we don't dream. That's why a lot of you can't astral project. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's so easy for us to worship and cling and chase money, because our DNA has been altered to where we're looking for a savior. We're looking for somebody to come in and change our world. We've gotten away from creating our own realities. And the reason why we can't is because we don't have someone that we can grab hands and hold on to and say, this is what we want. Right. I'm going to take my will and my desire and my love and my sexual energy, and this is what we're going to create. And be in agreement. There's no agreement. Mm-hmm. So where we start kicking up some turbulence, right, is most men. And I'm going to say from a man's point of view, and I'm going to help her with the woman's point of view, because my wife was not raised like, she's just a special soul coming into this dimension. You just have to be around her to understand. She's just a special incarnating soul coming through this frequency. She was not raised like, and she doesn't vibrate like, I don't want to stereotype women, but you guys know certain type of spirits that's on certain type of women now, and certain type of spirits that's on certain type of men now. I had the spirit. So I can talk about it. Right. I ain't just gonna shit on women, because I know I wasn't shit out there. I know I wasn't. I know I had a certain kind of spirit and a certain kind of will and a certain kind of desire. And the reason why polygamy won't work now is because most men are living out of their root and sacral chakra, and they don't even understand what I'm talking about, right? Everything a man owns, in many cases, you can look on the internet, every goddamn thing, that we own is on our body. And you'll see them on the internet. Look at my grill, 100,000. Look at my watch, 200,000. Count the money. Look what I got, baby. Boo, boo, boo. This is it. Everything they own, they flashing on the internet. And why? Why is that now? Because the scales are so unbalanced. Scales, we ain't never had nothing. We ain't never had nothing. When I say we, for the majority of society, if you're not in them 13 families, you've never experienced the fruit and the harvest of Mother Earth. You haven't. Most of us eating GMO foods. We got fluoride in our water. Most of you who eat meat, you got growth hormones in the meat. You've never had anything. So when you do come into something, a little come up, of course, you're going to show it off. I understand why they do it. But when you get a group of men like that and a group of women that are attracted to that, that's when the disharmony comes in. She want what she got and he won't. It just separates everything. You see what I'm saying? But if I flip the script and you take one man, right, or one woman, it could start either way, because it takes two. It takes divine feminine energy and divine masculine energy to procreate on planet Earth. That is what it is. I'm talking about creation, manifestation, life. It takes divine feminine energy and masculine energy. If you take a man that has reached the crown chakra and has a spiritual connection with the universe, I'm not talking about a perfect man, because I just told you we got different timelines that we can go in and out of. But a spiritual man can focus his will and desire and maintain a certain frequency to stay on a certain timeline longer than a man that's living out of his root and sacral chakra. Okay. You everywhere. When the root chakra is survival mode, you're going to do whatever you got to do to survive. If you got to piss on somebody, you're going to piss on them. If you got to steal from somebody, you're going to steal. You're going to do whatever you have to do to survive. It's survival mode. That's the root chakra. The sacral chakra, I mean, it links right with that survival mode. It's something about men. We love to procreate. And so many men think that love is making love to a woman a certain way, laying that pipe. You see what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real. I lay pipe good, baby. And certain women don't know what real love is, the frequency of love, the vibration of love. We've been contaminated, wouldn't you say, with an artificial love?
Absolutely. Sure.
Artificial love that you see all over the internet, all in the music, all in the movies. It's all artificial. I was contaminated with it. And that's why you get so many broken families right now. And what sparked our debate, and we can go back into the debate now, I said that if I had 10 wives and I was living out of my crown chakra and I had one mother wife, the one foundation, that one divine feminine woman, which they would call in the streets, they call them the bottom bitch. Okay, that's the woman that runs the rest of the women. Okay, I don't know what they call it. I'm just, I'm from Detroit, so they call her the bottom bitch. She runs all of the other women, keep them in line, like the mother of the mothers. Okay, now think about this on an economical point of view. Okay, we ain't ready here, and that's not what we want now. But just imagine this: if I had 10 wives and I was living out of my crown and my heart chakra, I could get out of my because that's the only way this gonna work. You got to get out of the root chakra. You got to get out of the sacral chakra. It can't be about coochie. It can't, or it's not gonna work with the women. They're gonna feel that. Okay, you're gonna be biased towards one. You see what? It won't work. But if I had 10 wives and I had one wife that was the mother of all the wives, who the other wives respect as mom, but we were all together economically. This woman got a doctor's degree. This woman is a psychiatrist. This other one is a dentist. You understand what I'm saying? This other one is a teacher that's homeschooling the children. You understand what I'm saying? This other one is a chef that prepares all of the food. You understand? This other one is an accountant that does all of the taxes and the numbers. You understand what I'm saying? I'm the male. All I have is the seed for the harvest. I'm planting the seed. I'm teaching the boys how to be men, how to respect the women. You understand? This is the way it used to be in the tribes. Thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. This is how it used to be. I'm telling you, I know it's hard to see it now. Everything was on one accord. If you look at some of them historical movies, when you see, 50 or 60 women with them things on their head, they walking miles to get water.
Yes.
They come back to the tribe. What did the men? Yeah. The men, the little boys was 5 and 6 years old hunting. Because the men teaching the boys how to be men. And all of the women stuck together. The women didn't care who this man was quote, and I'm just being comical. They didn't care who this man laid pipe to, as long as he could provide for them.
He brought the food back.
As long as you could provide for these women, you could have as many women as you wanted. Now look how the system is in 2017. This is where we was bumping heads. Once again, I have no desire to I can barely keep this woman, one wife right now. I just got my shit together where I can have one, right? I'm not saying that I could have 10 wives. Now, I could not right now, okay? Because that's not what my will and desire is. I would love in one carnation or maybe another dimension. Maybe this can happen again, but where we are now, she don't want children. No. I'm cool with that. You see what I'm saying? So it wouldn't work for us. You see what I'm saying? Because if I brought another woman in that wanted children, you see how that wouldn't work? She wouldn't want to take on this other woman's children. So it wouldn't work. So it depends on where you are spiritually and the connection that you have with your soulmate. It wasn't her incarnation to come in and bear children. I found out what my wife's incarnation was. It's easy for me to tell her, but she has to agree and see it for herself. Her only reason of being here right now is to vibrate at the vibration of love. I know that.
Lead with it. You got to lead with love.
I watch how the animals respond to. I watch how people, she can go anywhere and people just say it's something about you. And I had to learn that. She's here to just vibrate love. Very simple task, but at times very hard to do, isn't it? In certain situations.
Yeah, it could be. It very much could be because of the frustration. Even though you're leading with love, some people are not receiving to it. So it makes it more difficult. It saddens me that people don't see I'm leading with love, but I have to continue to do that no matter what. Believe me, I get frustrated with my family, my coworkers and everything, but you still have to lead with love, because what you're going to start with, that's what you're going to end up with. So you just have to lead with love no matter what. You know, whatever come up don't have to come out. You have to stop and think. So just lead with love, people. That's the only thing I can say. I'm not saying it's difficult. It's not for everybody, but just try it. From here, your heart.
A heart chakra. That's where love comes from, the heart chakra. And I think you made a good point. You have to stop and think before you open this this vibration coming from this throat chakra.
Come up, don't have to come out.
It don't have to come out. Yeah, that's good.
And the thing of it is,
that's good. That's good.
In this society, I know it's more difficult for people, because people tend to say whatever they want to you, but that doesn't mean you have to reciprocate. I'm not saying it's easy, but I walk away feeling better, and I sleep better knowing that night that I lead with love every time. I'm not saying it's easy, but I lead with love every time. You can walk away feeling you got dogged or whatever, but I led with my heart. So
okay, so imagine having 10 wives, educated, right? Remember I said doctors, you got a lawyer, you got accountant, you got one that cooks, you got, 10 wives, and all of these children are being raised in one household. So we don't have any more fatherless children. You see what I'm saying? These children have 10 mothers. See, people look at polygamy as a bad thing because they're thinking about just laying pipe and sex. You see, that's when you know you're living out of your sacral and your root chakra. Polygamy is a wonderful thing for those who can hold those frequencies and who have elevated and brought that kundalini energy up, not one time, but can reside out of the heart chakra and the crown chakra. Because in the crown chakra, you're just looking at it as energy, as souls coming in and helping these souls, right, do what they, keeping these soul groups connected. You see, because once you reach the crown chakra and the heart chakra, you're not going to bring a woman in that's not in your soul group. You're not, because you're going to know her energy. You see what you ain't chasing pussy no more. The women ain't chasing fiat currency no more. They're chasing that masculine energy, that soul group that they missing, that they incarnated here to connect with. We're talking about unity consciousness. You see what I'm saying? So we just, I think we would have a much better society if we broke away from the fiat. First, we got to get out of this digital money. And unfortunately, we're coming into the digital currency age. You see what I'm saying? It's coming. Now, me personally, I know that my goal is to be on this graduating timeline to ascend out of 3 density, out of 4th density. And I'm going to go through a cycle. I'm still creating it now. I'm not going to put it over this artificial intelligence so motherfuckers can attack what I'm trying to do. But I'm creating my reality, my afterlife now. I realize that I have the power to do that. I know when I shed this body, I never die. Do you die? Or you still see? No. See, now you can ask the woman, if you look at your wife right now and say, do you die? If she say yes, then you got work to do. You see what I'm saying? We never die. She knows this because she's had an out-of-body experience where she was conscious. Through much diligence, right? Took a lot, didn't it? You have to disconnect from the matrix. Okay, you have to disconnect from the matrix. How do you disconnect from the matrix? Stillness. 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 times a day. A day.
And I'm sorry, but like I tell him, when I'm at work, I call it, and again, we call it something different. When I take that breath in, I stop those brain cells. And when I blow it out, I replenish, and I bring new ones in. And I have to do that sometimes faster at work than I do at home, because when you're out dealing with the outside world, when I'm at work, you know, people can take you to a level that you just don't want to go. So again, I think quick, and I even in their presence, while they're talking, I'm still listening, and I blow it out and just reset. I recenter. I recenter several times a day, and sometimes you have to learn. I had to learn how to recenter quick, sometimes quicker than others. Now, when you recenter quick, it won't last as long versus when you lay down and you meditate and you recenter and you have to go sit in the sun and everything. But if you work on the outside world and you dealing with people, you have to recenter quick,
fast.
Yes. And let me just say this. No, I don't. The whole polygamy thing, we didn't agree on that, but I do believe that there's back in the old school where it takes a village to raise a child. I'm talking about an aunt, an uncle, a neighbor, a woman that's like me, and you know, somebody that might drink in your family. I do believe that a village and everybody has something to offer a child, because you don't want your child to be raised blindsided and not think that, oh, all the world is peaches, creams, and cookies. You don't want your child to be raised like that. So you need this aunt, this uncle, this neighbor that's gonna, you know, be that aunt, uncle that tell them the truth about the way the world is. You don't want them to be sheltered, because if they did, once they get out there, they'll be lost. So I don't agree with the polygamy, but I totally believe with the whole village raising a child.
Okay, so now this is where I have to stop her. You don't believe in the polygamy. Why? Because you agreed. You saw her, ladies and gentlemen, shaking her head. You know, and once again, I don't want 10 wives. It's just a discussion. Yeah. And watch where it goes back to. Watch. I'm just telling you, you like the fact that you got mothers raising all in one household, all on one accord. You understand? The kids don't have to go to these fucked up public schools, mixing with all these other spirits. Everything is in-house. You got 10 different incomes under one household. You got everything is under one household. So what don't you agree with polygamy?
I don't want to raise nobody else's kids. I don't want to discipline nobody else's kids where I have to, because I don't want no children, never wanted any children, but I don't want to deal with somebody else's children.
Okay.
That's just me. I just choose.
That's just her.
No, nobody kid. I don't want to discipline nobody else's kids. If I have 2 kids of my own, and then... But
they wouldn't be somebody else's kids. They would be your children in your household. The 10 wives, these are your kids. See, we still looking at, and this is what we go through every morning. Right. They're not other people's kids. It's you are one family. It's polygamy. You are the mother of those children. Those are your kids. You're not bearing them, but they're your children. You just said it takes a village to raise a child.
I would let them kids stay outside the house of the child. I was a very productive aunt.
That's some bullshit.
My nieces and nephews will tell you I'm very productive in their lives. I help build who they are and their character. And I thank my niece for standing up at our wedding. And she said something that just made me, go tearful. But outside the household, I just don't believe in sharing certain things,
Don't nobody want your little wee I got.
I ain't only talking about that.
What you don't want to say? Don't nobody want your little, well, I ain't gonna say, but I ain't gonna go there. Right. Don't nobody want your kabasa girl.
I was about to say, don't
nobody want your old man.
And not only that, I just, where I am, I'm not a polygamy wife. That's for who wants it. This is the no judgment zone, free judgment zone, judgment-free zone here. If that's for you, I'll still love you the way that you are. But for myself, I just don't want it. Conscious. Maybe if I was at the space of my husband, and like he said, we was more financially able, and if I wanted to bear children, and I definitely don't think it would be fair for me to be the wife in the house with no kids. No. So no, polygamy is not for me.
Okay, so what I want to do, we got a little group of people on here, and I want to give you a chance to, if you want to call in on this, would you be in a marriage where you can have multiple husbands and multiple wives? 734-230-2744. I'm gonna give you a chance to call in. You can talk to Sonny Marie, and we just wanted to go live, and we were having a discussion anyway. We were sitting at the table, say, let's just go live. I'm conscious now. What we can just go live, show our faces, no agenda. I don't want 10 wives. I can barely handle one wife right now, but I can see the economical and the more growth financially, and you don't have fatherless children. I can see how it could work for the right individuals who were not living out of their root chakras and their sacral chakras, who have risen the Kundalini energy all the way up and can connect to the crown and the third eye chakra and the heart chakra. It will work. There will be so much less welfare, so much less fatherless bastard children.
More educated.
More educated. You understand what I'm saying?
They'll learn your values and your truths versus the world values and truths. Because if you have a polygamy family, you guys have the same goals in mind. So therefore, all the children would have the same values that you guys have as a whole. So I definitely can see why he would say that that's beneficial if that's what one would want, and it makes more sense financially. And I understand what my husband is saying. You don't have to have the universal education, but somebody that's good with money is going to run the books. Somebody that can get in there and cook. You don't have to go to culinary school, but if you can get in there and cook, we have some women that loves to cook. We have women that loves to clean. Some women keep the finances. Some women like to do the laundry. As the man, can go out and hunt for food. Hunting for food in these days means grow the food, work in the garden with the sons. And as long as everybody fit the bill of living in that group, and that's that polygamy family, I think it works. And even in this day and age, if it works for you, I say go for it, because it's only about what you and the people in your group and that has the same goal as you. Like, ain't nobody in this relationship. I don't care what nobody outside the world say about my husband and I. This is ours. And the same thing, if you're a husband and have 5 wives, don't let nobody in that circle. So people are always going to have their opinion.
Always. And it's not, polygamy is not for everybody. Right. Like at this certain time, I'm not ready for it. You understand what I'm saying? I just keep it real. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for 2 wives. I don't want this living feminine energy coming into my house.
Because it's another energy.
It's another energy. See, I look at everything now like energy. I'm not so much caught. The physical is always good to, feel on the thigh and look at a beautiful woman. That's cool. But once you realize, right, that all is energy, you know what I'm saying? You have to be able to sit in your wife's energy field.
Yes.
When you take away the booty, when you take away the boobs, when you take away the poo nanny, what do you have left? Right. You see what I'm saying? That's what's going to get you through the deep waters. And I had to learn that the hard way. The first thing I had to do was I had to learn what is true love. True love casts out all fear. That's right. A woman's true love will cast out all of a man's fears of thyself. You see what I'm saying? A real woman's love will help you cast out all of your fears. What you fear to tell a woman that you bump into, some of your wills, some of your desires. You understand what I'm saying? Some of the timelines that you reside on, that you do. When I say timelines, it's in the closet. Right. Let me translate it. So those are timelines. They don't go away. You see what I'm saying? They don't go away. You are experiencing multiple timelines simultaneously. You have to understand the lingo. Okay, because some of you attach so much negative energy to certain timelines that you were on at one part of your journey. It's your choice of whether you want to go back to that timeline or not. But if you find yourself back on that timeline, I had to tell my wife this the other day, don't automatically attach negativity to it. Right. Acknowledge that, oh, I'm back on this timeline. Wow. You see what I'm saying? Embrace it. A lot of people call this your shadow side or shadow work. You don't always have to attach negativity to timelines that you once resided on.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you do, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So I give you those of you who want to call in, don't be shy. 734-230-2744. We're gonna stay on a couple of more minutes. We just had this debate and we was hitting the table and shit in there in the living room. You know, I don't want no damn kid. I say, honey, I don't want no more wives.
I thought he was telling me he wanted to bring another wife in.
I can't. You see what I'm saying? It just spit there because I got another divine feminine woman that you might as well say I'm not wifely duties, but she's coming into my home
as an energy.
We sharing energy space. You see what I'm saying? She's going to add or take away from the energy that we have. It is what it is. You see what I'm saying? So we have to be prepared for that because this is a part of my wife's creation with the Ruby's Rescue, which is all levels of consciousness. We got beasts, we got fowl, we got felines, and now she's taking on humanity. Humanity. So instead of this young lady checking in to a facility where they're going to put her on medications and things like that, we're going to teach her meditations, guided meditations. We're going to change the diet. We're going to change her frequency collectively. She's more on the divine feminine energy. I'm more on the astral projection and the meditation and the thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Because I can I call it bleed through. I know where she is. I know she's seeing things from the astral realm. She doesn't understand why she's seeing these things. I understand why something traumatically happened to her in a certain time in her life that caused this fear to push her through. Okay, so we're just going to counsel. We're not going to judge, and we're going to raise her vibration until she can feel that vibration where she's comfortable on. If she wants to, she might, jump on live streams. She might call in, who knows? But this will be number 2, right?
Yeah.
We didn't have 2. So one was
a male
and one was going to be a female. So yeah. Last call. Let me step over to the chat. Let me go over here to the chat. And let me acknowledge you beautiful people who jumped on here, this spontaneous live stream. All right, who we got in the chat? Can we get some hearts? Could you guys show my wife how you put the hearts in the chat so she can see the love? Come into the chat. Put some hearts in the chat, and then I will acknowledge you for being here. In the chat, as the hearts come in, I will acknowledge your name. Okay. Ebony, thank you for the hearts.
I see him. Hi, Ebony.
Pia, thank you for the hearts. Thank you for being here with us today. Anybody else? Let's get the hearts going.
Wow.
YOLO. Thank you.
YOLO.
Thank you. Green Lie. Oh, look at Green Lie's hearts. That was kind of cool.
Green Lie. That's what I was looking at.
Green Lie, thank you for being here. Just a spontaneous live stream. We got our channel back.
Thank you for accepting. Let me just say this. Thank you for accepting me. I know that this is my husband's life or whatever, but thank you for allowing me to accept me and just a little bit of seeing what he's doing. So thank you. Okay, thank you, Chris Garner, for the hearts. Fatima, thank you so much for the hearts. Matthew Moore, thank you so much for the hearts. And we're going to be doing a lot this year with I'm Conscious Now What, and the Derek Dunlap channel that we have been live streaming from. Is that, man? We got some more. It's Ebony. I have been waiting so long to see you. Well, you see me now. You see me now. You see me now live. And we're all transitioning. And what I've learned with my channel, I just give you what I have, the energy that I have. And we all go through every day, trials and tribulations or discussions. So I am going to add a lot because I know my marriage is not perfect, but it works. I know I got a strong foundation right here. And we like, me and this woman is so deep, we have soul ties. And it's so very important that, how can I say this? I like to translate. We were talking at the table,
And you're not going to find your soulmate based on physical attributes.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You're not. You just, I mean, she can go buy a nose now.
Yeah.
She can put a weave on her head now.
Mm-hmm.
She can go buy some breasts.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy a booty now. You understand what I'm saying? You're not going to find your soulmate from physical attributes. Your soulmate, you must learn how to feel energy and vibration. And this is what I'm conscious now. What it's all about is just raising the level of consciousness. What is consciousness? Consciousness is a form of who you are as far as energy. It's your awareness, and you will know your soulmate. Your soul, listen. And it's going to take some adjusting. Your soulmate could be 565 pounds.
Yeah.
But you will never, ever experience the love or the energy that person is giving you. It's going to be so fulfilling, right? And the only thing you're going to be looking at is, yeah, but honey, this bitch 565 pounds.
Don't matter.
It wasn't fun. I'm just telling you.
Matter.
That's how it is.
Don't let society pick your soulmate for you. They can't do it.
Who is this? Give me a few minutes and I'll call you. You didn't have a few minutes.
Let me just tell you this again. He didn't have to pull tooth and nail, but it took some convincing to get me on. Again, I'm not a camera person, but I did agree because I wanted to be on his platform for a minute. So he might stay on a little while longer.
No, I'm out of here.
I'll be getting off in a minute.
So we will be going live. Now, here's the thing. Now I have 2 channels. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going live from I'm Conscious Now What Now. And I'm also going to be going live from the Derek Dunlap channel. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up the information a little bit. Okay. My Derek Dunlap channel will be more of Derek Dunlap. You understand what I'm saying? From like, you'll be getting not only live videos, but I'm going to be getting back into some of this 3D stuff of what's going on, what's going on the moon and all of that stuff on that channel. My personal perspective, the I'm Conscious Now What channel must remain of what it was created to be. And that's raising the level of consciousness one soul at a time. So that's going to be the platform where you guys can call in live and all of that other stuff. And we'll have different topics and, we'll be meditating and on this particular I'm Conscious Now What channel. But my Derek Dunlap channel is no holds barred on that one. I can jump. That's when you'll see my wife and, we talk about everything on that channel, what's going on the internet and just, but I'm Conscious Now What? Now that I can go live again, we're going to the goal is to raise the level of consciousness one soul at a time. Okay. So since no one, I appreciate you being here today. Balance out Derek with some divine femme. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. I knew it was time for her to jump on here. This not her, but you know what? My wife don't like artificial intelligence. She not an internet girl. She not a gadget girl. You see what I'm saying? She ain't in no Facebook or none of that.
Social groups.
You see what I'm saying? And I know where I came from, and it's hard for me to tell a society in 2017 that this artificial intelligence is fucking us up, but it is. It is. And you'll see what this artificial intelligence is doing once you start spending more time with yourself, or if you link up with a soulmate. And the time that we spend together, this goddamn computer can't do nothing for me. The energy that she gives me collectively, her divine feminine energy, all of the things that we manifesting that's coming to life right before our eyes. We see, I had some asshole was like, dude, I never forget this, and I'll forgive you, brother. But at that time, I thought about what he was saying and why he said that. And this is why we're so lost as a society. He was like, if you can manifest and astral project, where's your Bentley and where's your mansion? I don't want no motherfucking Bentley or no mansion. See, that's what you don't understand. I don't want a mansion on a piece of land that's controlled by the powers that be. If I had a mansion, I want a big house where I have my own power, water by my house, a place for my beast. I don't want that lifestyle no more. If I want a Bentley, and it's gonna really fuck a lot of y'all up. If I want a Bentley in a mansion, I astro project and create that shit. I don't want that in 3D now. You know why? Because that's gonna entrap me and take me away from her.
Right.
You know why? Because here come all of the bitches that's gonna want me in that Bentley.
And the bills.
Not even the bills. If I had a Bentley and a $20 million house right now, I would not be on here doing I'm conscious now. What? You got to understand energy and frequencies. I wouldn't. It wouldn't be as you guys say, how Derek, I just can feel. It wouldn't be like that, because the love of money is the root of all evil. You see what I'm saying? Yes. And it's easy for somebody to talk about money who ain't never had it. That's right. I had it. Mm-hmm. And how was I when I had a lot of money?
Oh,
be honest.
Boy. He wasn't the nicest person.
It changes you.
The nicest person.
It changes you. Mm-hmm. It changes you. I'm just telling you. It changes you. It changes your frequency. Money is energy. And I tell people this all the time. If you can't balance $500 a week or $500 a month, $500 a week, if you get a paycheck for $500 and you can't take $110 out of that money and put it up and still pay all of you can't fuck with $1 million right now. You can't manage. If you can't manage it, you see what I'm saying? Right. If you can't manage $1 million, so what do? You get somebody else to manage it for you, and they steal it from you and take it all for you. Then you got the pistol in your mouth because you realize you ain't got no more money, and you got to come back down to where you were because you didn't raise yourself up as some uppity motherfucker, and you think you better than everybody else. You see them on the internet. Look at my grill. I got 500,000 on my wrist, and because they not used to having nothing. They actually think they better than the person that's on the street pushing a buggy. Yeah. I'm telling you what money do now in 2017. Gender, you gonna hit me.
She hung up.
Gender, you can't hit me now, Gender. We out of here now, Gender. You waited to the last minute, but I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna do a live stream. I'm still juggling. Type in the chat. Should I go live before we go? Should I go live? And those of you who watch the replay of this live stream tomorrow, should I go live on the Derek Dunlap channel, or just say, fuck it, go live on I'm Conscious Now What? Let me know right now if you're in the chat. Should I go live on this channel tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard? I lost my stream. That's okay. Okay, it came back. Well, I guess the universe doesn't want you to. It's just, I'm conscious now. What? Bring it back to I'm conscious. Okay, Chris, we're going to bring it back to I'm conscious now. What? And we're going to build this channel back up because we had a little speed bump. So I'll just leave for now on. I don't care if we got 5 people. We got a small audience with us today because nobody knew we was going live. But this is what you guys need to do while we live, okay? You need to hit the subscribe button, all right? But next to the subscribe button, there's a little bell, all right? I need for you, or you won't know when we going live. This is what YouTube did to make an extra hurdle for you to be notified when I go live. You got to click on that little bell next to the subscribe button. Click on that bell and say you want to be notified when I go live. If you don't, when I go live, you won't be notified, okay? So do that for me. The few minutes were a few too much, okay? I guess Derek Dunlap, sincere is messing up, but I'm conscious now. What? Okay. All right, cool. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna get with my big Crystal. We're gonna have some meat and potatoes. The phone lines are gonna be open. Jenna, I'm sorry I didn't get you on today. You called a little late, but call tomorrow. Okay. call tomorrow, and we just gonna be doing spontaneous live streams. We're gonna keep our 9 p.m., but sometimes I'm gonna jump on at 1 o'clock. You see what I'm saying? Wherever I feel led in spirit, I'm going live. Okay, and we're gonna collectively raise the level of consciousness. What? One soul at a time. I love you just the way you are. You don't have to change anything. Okay, I'm talking from a spiritual standpoint. If you want to change your nose, that's on you. You got your own free will. You know, ladies, I ain't gonna get into that bit. If you want to change something, that's on you. But I love you just the way you are because you love me for who I am. All right. Peace and love.